Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is going to be a fun new little series that I might do if you guys are interested. I've been doing this actually, I did it a while ago, just on my own, and that is taking an entire week to build one character and one character only. However, there is a twist, and that twist is I will only be using whatever resin the game gives me. I have no fragile resin saved up. I will allow myself to use the transient resin from the teapot. So in a week, whatever this original resin ends up being, I'm also not going to be replenishing it with primo gems because I don't whale. So let's actually... I have a wheel of all the characters that are not built on my account, because I have a lot. I have quite a few characters who are not fully built, and this is going to be the stipulation. I'm going to use Gaming as an example. Maybe not, you're too loud. The goal is going to be to max ascend every character, so that is going to be getting them to 80-90, that split. They need to be on a level 90 weapon. Whether or not it is their best in-slot weapon does not need to be the case, but it needs to be a good weapon or a weapon. I basically have everyone, I think, on at least a 4-star weapon. And finally, a 5-star 5-set artifact set. Now, it can be like this, and I'm sure probably some people are screaming at me that Autodon is not on a 4-piece Cinder Cities build. I've been trying to play around. So they need to be on a set. Whether or not it is best for them, it's irrelevant. Oh, and also at least level 6 all of the talents. So that is going to be what we are aiming for whoever we roll. And let's see who we actually roll. I have a wheel right here with all the characters I don't have built. It is 48 characters that aren't built. Let's see who we're playing this week. I'm nervous. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit... Ooh! Interesting. We're building Aoife this week. Now, this is how my Aoife is looking right now. 50, level 50. His stats are bad. He's on a map of Mare, which I think is a good weapon for him. I think, but it's not built. It's level 40. He has 2 artifacts, although I have no Viridescent Venerer, and this is a pretty decent Viridescent Venerer piece. I think this is just on him because it's a good piece, and it was something to give him. So I'm gonna actually run and see if we just have anything that's good. I cannot take from Kave or Shinobu. Also, I don't want anyone to have, like, I don't want to swap. I'm so tired of swapping artifacts around. I don't think you realize how much I hate doing it. So this is how we're looking right now. Aoife's going to be a pain in the ass because he wants EM pieces. And I don't... All of his talents are only at level 4, but I have the stuff to ascend them to 6, probably. I have a lot of stuff. I got a lot of the chest. Oh my god, all we have to do is just straight up level him. I have so much Animo stuff. This is great. This might actually be a good character to start with, you know? It could be worse. Let's start with leveling him up to 54. I think the main thing we're gonna have to work on is getting at least another Viridescent Venerer piece for him. Unfortunately, it's the circlet that we might have to look for. Honestly, I kind of want to put him on a 2-piece Wanderers, but I just don't have the stuff for it. First things first, we should probably work on this because we can take care of it. Okay, so starting out, I went into the weapon domain. Honestly, anytime I get to use Cryo, I'm happy. I get to use Wisely. I did forget to have like a starting benchmark for Aoife and what damage he does. My bad. I immediately was like, let's just get into the character. I think also just pulling day of and not day before kind of did that, but it's fine. However, I did use Aoife, and his burst does a max of like 4,000, so we got a lot to do, but it's fine. We're already done with our first round of the weapon domain. And again, and now we can ascend his weapon up to level 50. And we're short. It's fine. Did also get his level up a little bit. And leveling artifacts. Also, I am terrible. And whenever I just have a little bit of an item, I usually use it. So you'll see a lot where I'm not just like, oh, I'm leveling something up to 20 or I'm max leveling. Because I do a little bit at a time. And that is 100% my fault. So I apologize for that. Now I spend way too much time contemplating which flower I should switch onto Aoife because I'm just like, this has been rolling just into attack. I need the other stuff. I don't remember if I changed it though. But I did go into Stygian to do some artifact farming because, you know, why not? It's not like it's going to give me anything good anyways. Let's level up his sands and gives the worst substat, but we can get Aoife all the way up to level 59 and we get his artifact up. Now I needed to go into the overworld anyways to get Saurian Claws, but I typically do this when they're like a little bit away because I kind of sometimes I know how I want to use a character, and sometimes I just like the idea of playing a character and kind of doing this last little bit where it's like, you know, a couple fights and whatnot, and I'm able to get a better idea of how they play and maybe how I want to use them. Because a guide might say to do one thing, and I might be like, but I want to play them this way. And we're back to killing more Saurians. But, like, already our damage is doing a lot for his... Like, his burst is almost doing twice as much. And his skill's doing so much more. But now we need to collect Saurian Claws, because I didn't have enough. And just more, like, seriously, why is Aoife's Night Soul design, like, easily probably the best one? Like, it's not fair. It's not fair. Like, we got none of him, and they give us that. But, back to killing more Saurians. And just using my Flins as much as I can. I love Flins. I know this is an Aoife video, but oh my gosh, I love my Flins. But hey, Aoife's at level 60. And we can ascend him. I got more books. I believe I did the Archon quest at this point, and we're able to get his skill up to level 6 and his burst to level 5. More strong boxing, and I actually keep the piece. Sometimes I'm like, I look at the stats and I'm like, wait, would I have actually kept that? I think this was later in the same day. Let's get his feather leveled up. I mean, flower, shoot. Level him up and do more of the weapon domain. I believe this is day 2. I should have marked these and I didn't. I just need as much as I can, and we're able to get his weapon up to 80. More strong boxing because I can never find anything good. I don't believe I kept that piece. More leveling. And we're in his talent domain. I hate the lava dragons so much. I know they're probably easy, but also, like, I probably just brought the wrong team in. Because I think I just kept doing overload instead of lunar charge. But actually on day 2, I started contemplating and questioning my like team build and all of that. And I kind of wanted to talk about it because I was running Mappa Mare, and granted, I was running it because I had seen someone say that it was a good weapon in a guide, and I was like, oh, okay. Now that I've gone back and looked, I think they made that guide specifically for Aoife to be, like, your heavy hitter, your DP, like, you know, the main one on the team. And that's not how I'm planning on running it. Honestly, if everything went right, Aoife would have been the healer on my team. And mainly I've just been thinking about what Flynn's team I want to build. I would have wanted him to just mainly run BB and then heal. But because he has to be an on-field healer too, I don't know if it necessarily works for him. But that was kind of how I was thinking. And I was like, oh, okay, healer that I can put on my Flynn's team. And I don't think that's necessarily how he's going to work, and I'm not sure. Because, I don't know. I like Aoife's playstyle, don't get me wrong, but I kind of just started to overthink it and then questioning if I should have put a different piece on him. But that's kind of the luxury, and it's kind of the thing that's unique about Genshin, is the fact that you can really create the characters however you want. You don't have to sit there and follow one specific set of guidelines. Granted, you can't suddenly make someone a shielder or a healer, but you can make them like just a tank. You can change them up to make them a DPS. I mean, how many videos have we seen where people have made Noelle into like an absolute tank of a machine for a DPS? And you can kind of do that with a lot of different characters. So I kind of was like, okay, I'm just going to build Mappa and call it a day. But we managed to get his burst up to 6. And another run got us up to 5 for his normal. Now, I did the Imaginarium. And I got a transient resin. And I didn't want to count it towards this because that wasn't fair. It was natural resin and the resin from the teapot. Now, I could have just used this as the teapot replacement, but I instead ran it on Flynn's artifact domain because I need those pieces. And don't worry, it gave me nothing. So, I threw all that into the strongbox, and you might say it's cheating. It's not like it gave me a good weapon anyways, it just gave me more strongbox fodder. That's it. Now we get his piece, his flower up to level 20, which is already going to be a placeholder because it's Gladiator. And every Sunday, I have the parametric transformer, and we're just shooting it. I'm hoping for weapon stuff and talent stuff, and just more importantly, more Night Soul Aoife. At least I got some heroes wits, because all I got was one teaching of conflict. But it did give me enough to get a guide, and we got Aoife up to level 63. This is day 3, I believe. And this is where the nightmares start for me. Because, oh my gosh, do I hate the lava dragon statue. Now, I am going to give you the very quick TLDR, as the footage goes very quickly. I did not realize there are 2 rings of pyro you have to clear out in order for him to be down for the count, and then that's when you use your cryo and your hydro. No other enemy has 2 rings, and you would think that, like, just looking at it and being like, oh, okay, it has 2, I should do 2. No, it never occurred to me. So I spent this fight alone 10 minutes on it. And it takes me way too long to realize. And so every other time I fight this stupid thing, it takes at least another 10 minutes for 3 drops. Every time. But it gave us enough to go into the strongbox and level Aoife up more, and his feather. Even though it doesn't... I keep getting attack rolls. Went back to Mondstadt to do some ley lines because for some reason I only do them in Mondstadt. And we have such little XP left. Again, that's not worth it to use an entire book for. I'm sorry, I'll say it. So instead I go and kill more Khaenri'ahs, I mean hilly trolls. For some reason, Mondstadt, I go there, do ley lines. I guess because it's just the quickest. Aoife's now level 70, except I didn't have money. So I had to come back the next day and ascend him because I had the money. For day 4, all I did was just a couple of, I think I did 1 or 2 like artifact runs or maybe XP runs. I mainly just condensed my resin on day 4 because today was the last day that I could have the talent domain and the weapon domain. So I just condensed resin for this to make my life easier. And hoping that I never had to fight these things again, except I did. Back into the weapon domain. Honestly, I was really hoping that just having condensed resin would just take all my problems away. It did it. It's fine. What matters is I get to use Risley just a little bit more. I can't wait till Cryo gets into the meta. I need it to be in the meta. We did it once and we did it twice, and now we have enough that we can at least craft the rest of the stuff to take care of Mapamare. And also I had to craft 1 more talent book for Aoife. But hey, Mapamare is up to level 80, and his normal attack's up to level 6. Back into more hell! Yes, I even tried putting Mabuika on this team, because I was like, you know what? Everyone says that she's like an absolute tank. Granted, mine is not built. And I'm going to say this right now, and people are going to get mad at me and clip this moment. I regret pulling Mabuika. Mabuika is probably the only character that I really fell into the meta of. But also, the only other pyro DPS I had at the time was Duluth. And I finally learned that it was 2 rounds to kill the thing. It took me so long to learn that. More 3 drops because for some reason the Lava Dragon statue just hates me so much. More 3 drops. Also, I had this happen. Like, I was trying to heal Xingqiu. And, like, I went to the statue. Didn't heal him. Like, it wasn't healing him. Like, even when I went into the screen and it said heal. Also, I did 30k on Xingqiu, which is crazy. Anyways, more 3 drops. More strong boxing. And that's actually a good piece. Yeah, and I did switch that onto Aoife. And then we went into the Viridescent one. Remember when physical damage actually was like what you wanted? I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna just beat the crap out of them. But because it was Electro Assistant Mage, I probably had one of the worst teams because I'm pretty sure it had like high like electro resistance. God, I can't think of the word. But at least Aoife got some time to shine because Shinobu was dying. Again, I'm very picky with my pieces, which is why you'll see so many pieces that y'all might be like, yeah, I'll take a chance on that. I don't. Back to the strong box. My like, God, we hate each other so much. We're such frenemies. Anyways, more lava dragons killing time. And more XP books. God, I keep wanting to say HP books instead of XP books. I don't know why. And for some reason I went to Fontaine for this one. I genuinely don't know why. But I did fight those like little water things, which was like really great for lunar charge. And we got Aoife up to level 80 because it was like 999 or 995 or something like that. Time to use all of the pyro art gems that we got from all the fights with the lava dragon. And then, because it's just me fashion, I get distracted and I also start to just do the rest of the materials. It's like, oh, let me downsize these. I use up so much of my Dust of Azoth to do this, but now I can do the turquoise. I can ascend Aoife for the final time. And I don't typically do beyond like level 80. But went back into the Viridescent Venerer domain, killed Aino in the process. But we're just here for a decent artifact. Can't even get one on set. I did try to level him up, but again, I live in the land of no money. Just call me Mora. Just call me Sholi. Just call me Kave. God, do we have another, like, constantly broke character? Call me anyone from Inazuma. We're not good. I'm not good with the Mora. It is officially the end of the Aoife week build, or whatever we're calling this. 1 week, 1 build. I'm not sure. We are done. I actually went ahead and edited everything down for the video, so this is actually a few days after, but I have not adjusted Aoife's build since what? Last Sunday. So, as of right now, he is level 80. He has not gone a single XP over. He is on Mappa Mare, level 84. R1. Artifacts are still Wanderer's Troop and Vivi. I don't think I've touched any of these. Did I have this on him or did I have something else? Anyways, this is a cracked ass piece for him. Might keep that. That's what her feather looks like. Yes, it is an attack sans. Do I have EM stuff? Technically, I actually have some stuff that is pretty dang good for him. However, I wanted this build, and this sucked. I have a VV EM piece that is pretty good. Oh, and a VV Gladiator Goblet, which isn't the best. Honestly, this might be good for Shinobu. But I have honestly, this might be better for Shinobu because it's got the HP on it. But this is the double crit. And hold on, this has 14% crit rate? How did I not see that this was 14% crit rate? Yo, this might go on Shinobu. Like, the HP doesn't do it. Okay, sorry. Sorry, this is where my brain goes. That is what Aoife is looking like. We are back in the Mappa Mare weapon domain, mainly to see how he does. Because this is where we got all of our stats. I have to start the rotation out proper. We are starting out with a burst of 3,709. I think I can read my handwriting. And a skill of like 346. So let's see what he is working with. Now, of course, we're only going to pay attention to the animo damage he does and nothing of... I need to clear everything out but the Sisson Mage. And fortunately, Risley can do fairly decent work with all of that. Alright. Okay, burst is 5,000, but the skill is doing at least 1,000. So we're doing actually like at least 1,000 more. Again, I knew this wasn't going to be like a cracked out build. Okay, so it seems like at least with this, we're consistently hitting like 2,000. Now, I don't recall his Okay, that was 9,000. So we're doing upwards of 9,000. Now that might just be when he is doing the, okay, it seems like crit might be 23. And regular damage for the skill is 15. Okay, so that's what I think our numbers are looking like. Again, I knew that Aoife wasn't going to be, like, we weren't gonna get crazy numbers. I knew we weren't going to get, that is too close, Aoife. Okay, so we managed to do about, I want to say triple our burst and maybe actually like a lot more on the skill. Like, honestly, I think the skill became a bigger thing. Now, overall feelings. Honestly, this was really fun. I think a lot of the times when we think about building a character or anything like that, one of the biggest things is like, we gotta do it quick. And then you think like you're going to get these massive numbers. But for a lot of people, having a bunch of fragile resin and having a bunch of stuff pre-farmed isn't necessarily going to be what a lot of normal people have. I think if you're someone who does content and you know that you're going to... I'm sorry, my guy. I think for a lot of people, you know, even if you're doing content, like, you are planning this out. You are pre-farming. This was literally, I picked a character on day one. I had no time to pre-farm, and I would have not been able to pre-farm. Y'all saw how I was with the lava dragon. That would have been a nightmare. So I think, honestly, this is a little bit realistic for, like, how most people are going to be building characters. They're not going to be able to go from 0 to 90, triple crowning, you know, having, like, a 4-piece of anything. Also, too, it was probably a massive challenge to use Aoife because EM pieces are hard to find. Okay? It's not easy getting an EM piece, and more importantly, a good EM piece. And considering how picky I am with some of my artifacts, and I'm sure people would give me crap in the comments below of saying, why did I strongbox this or that weapon or artifact and all of that, and maybe I didn't have the best weapon. But considering in a week I took him from 50 all the way up to 80, max ascended him, he almost has a fully built weapon, and that's just because I constantly live in a land without Mora. I just never have it. I'm terrible at horizontally building characters, so I never have Mora. But, you know, and honestly, his build is not bad. Of course it can be better, having a 4-piece VV set, but again, it's hard finding 3 pieces of EM. Now, I want to do this again in the future. I have a couple characters that I have in mind, so please let me know if y'all want to see these videos more. Like I said, I have a couple characters that I personally want to make these videos for, and I actually want to try to even make one of these where I'm building characters from like level 1. I'm going to be pulling for Shol-Li, which honestly it's going to start today. And Lanyan's on the banner, who I don't have. So there's 2 characters I might be able to do. If I'm lucky, Beto might finally come home. I don't know. I have no faith in it. But there are so many different characters that I'd love to do this. And I have plenty of characters that aren't built. And I think taking a week, not only to build them up, because sometimes like characters stay neglected on your team. You have a team, you stick with the team, and sometimes maybe you get a new character. But outside of that, you're just like, I'm going to stick with what I know. So kind of just taking the time to like build them up, and more importantly, just kind of playing them and seeing their playstyle. Because I was hoping Aoife would be a really good add-on to my Flint's team, and maybe he will be. Maybe I can run him on Thrilling Tales, a 4-piece VV set. That way he can heal the team. Because if I have to run a Flynn's team without Shinobu, I have no healer. Shinobu is right now my only healer for a Flynn's team. So Aoife could be a good second choice because he does off-field healing, even though he has to be on. So it kind of might mess up the rotations. I'm not 100% sure if I would put him on that, but at the very least, I think Eva would be really good just to build for, like, Imaginarium. And of course, like, if you enjoy his playstyle, like, why not? But I think that's everything. I think I've said everything that I needed to say. Hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said, leave me some comments if y'all want to see this again. I actually wouldn't mind, instead of doing just like a random wheel, doing like viewer chooses, you know, something like that. So subscribe, and, you know, I'll try to do like community posts if we decide to do like a viewer choice. Because here's the thing. I got some characters y'all might be mad that aren't built. Like Skirk. You wanna know what the bad thing is? Let me make this worse for y'all. I have her weapon. I have her weapon. And she ain't even started yet. You wanna know who else I have? Again, I have so many characters. I still have my first 5-star character that I ever pulled, who is still at level 50. I never built Clorond. I also have the other meta tank, Moeka, who's not built either. I have plenty of characters that I still need to build. So, like, I would love to do this again, but let me know. I will probably still do it kind of in my off time, but I think one of the biggest things is I have to pre-farm Mora and XP books, because I think that was the kind of the biggest issue I had. Unfortunately, I had like events coming up and the Archon quest that I could get it for, but outside of that, like, then I was having to spend time farming ley lines, and I think that that's much less interesting than going in and doing the talents or anything like that. So just a few takeaways. Figured I would wrap this up in the hands of the god who gave us our vision. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see y'all next time for some more, either Genshin content, or maybe you just want to watch some of my LPs. That'd be totally cool. God, this is getting a little bit rambly, and I apologize for that. But yeah, whether it be an LP or another Genshin video that I do, hope you guys stick around, and I will see y'all next time. Bye.